Is brand new news into our newsroom. Ben Roethlisberger and I met yesterday morning. We had a productive meeting. We were able to discuss a lot of things that relate to where we are and where we want to go. Ben assured me that he is committed to coming back to help us win, and I told Ben that we would like to have him back to help us win a championship. We both understand the next step is to work out Ben's contract situation. So those are from Art Rooney, and those are literally coming in as we speak. Those, as I read those to you, were the first time I'd heard them. So, Dan Graziano, when you hear that, my insider, what should we take away from that?
Well, if they really want to work out the contract situation, it could take about 5 minutes. I'll do it for them. He's not scheduled to make $41.25 million this year. That's his cap hit. He's scheduled to make $19 million this year. The rest is leftover charges from previous contract stuff. So if you want to take that $19 million, convert all of it into a signing bonus other than the minimum salary, which for him will be $1.075, extend the deal out 4 more years and have it automatically void after this year, now you've got the cap hit down to about $27 million. That's it. The only other option, if he wants to be on the team, is if he gives them money back. If he does not take all of that $19 million that is owed to him this year. And that would be a drastic and somewhat unprecedented step for a quarterback as accomplished as he is. If he's willing to knock that number down or get rid of it entirely, all but the minimum salary, then they can save even more. But again, I think that would be pretty surprising.
Wait, Dominique, before I let you go, let me just quickly confirm. What you're talking about, Dan Graziano, that would knock down the cap hit, or it would just knock down the money he would get?
Well, both. I mean, right, it would knock down, if he were to take a full-on pay cut to the minimum salary. Again, this is fantasy land. Dominique, former president of the NFLPA, is there shaking his head, and justifiably so. But that would take it down.
You're lucky we're not in studio.
It would save about $17 million instead of about $14 million. That's how the math works. But again, that's a big if. I think what happens is the first thing I said, a restructure and extension that saves them about, well, it'd be $14.34 million this year.
Okay, Nick, go ahead.
That is not even on the table, giving money back. Like, Dan, you say a lot of things that get under my skin, and we all arguing here in good fun. But that's the first time you said anything that actually made me really angry. Like, no, do not even suggest that. Don't put that on the table that somebody's going to be giving some money back. You guys can work around the cap hits any way you want. And the point that you made, I thought was a good one. But what part of it you left out is if they do extend him, convert his salary, some of his salary into sign his bonus, and extend him and amortize that cost over the next several years, like then he will be a drag on their salary cap once he is off the team. So they are not only making decisions that will affect this year's team. If they do something like that, those are limitations that will affect the team after he's gone. So these are all things they have to consider, that it's a risk worth taking, a thing worth doing if you think you are about to win a championship. If you don't, then I think it's an interesting decision that you have to make with one of your legends or with your legendary quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl champ. I'm not sure I would advise them to do any of that. I'm certainly not advising anybody to give back some money. That's foolish.
Go ahead, Dan, real quick.
Just so people know, I've done the math on this. If they do the full-on maximum voidable years extension, they would save $14.34 million on this year's cap, but they would carry a $14.34 million charge for him on next year's cap, assuming he retires and the contract voids. So that's the effect it would have beyond this year that Dominique is talking about.
All right, so Torrey, let's put some football into the football conversation here, because assuming they can figure out the money, one of the questions you ask yourself is, at what point do you need to start addressing my future at quarterback? Are the Steelers, as constituted now, with a couple of realistic moves they can make this offseason and Ben Roethlisberger as their quarterback, are they a contender to win a championship in the near future? Torrey, yes or no?
With Ben Roethlisberger there, you always stand a chance with Mike Tomlin leading his team. Now, I will say this. The best option, regardless of free agency or the draft for this season, is a cheaper Ben Roethlisberger. So they will work out something that fits the salary cap. But going forward, they're going to have to draft the quarterback. And they've been trying on the back end of rounds, but it hurts you when you're a decent team in terms of finding that franchise guy early. You're going to have to develop that guy. But they do have Dwayne Haskins, who's going to get a second chance at Pittsburgh. So we'll see what he can grow and develop into. But you have to make that decision now, because you're talking about a quarterback who's flirted with retirement for the past few years. So you don't want Big Ben to leave not only a huge hit to your salary cap going forward, but also a void at the quarterback position. So you have to address that at some point this year in the draft.
All right, something to keep an eye on. But again, that's new information. Art Rooney, those quotes just came into our newsroom literally moments ago. We will see. All signs do point towards Roethlisberger playing at least one more year in Pittsburgh. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.